All right, what's going on, guys? What is going on? Let's see if I can get my picture on the screen here. Welcome to the Gem of All Trades Sunday night chart. Sunday. Whew, back in Michigan, guys. Just been a week away, visiting my daughter in the state of Missouri, where we used to live, and we're back in Michigan, and I'm here to do Sunday night charts as normal, guys. We're going to try to get some videos out this week, get on a little bit more of a regular schedule with the videos. That's my goal for the last quarter of the year, October, November, December. Get some more regular videos out to you guys and see if we can get some content pumping up. Guys, it is the first of the month. It's a fantastic time to join the Discord. If you're not part of it, we killed it. I mean, we killed it in September and looking to, Lord willing, kill it in October. As far as the trading is concerned, if you want to be a part of that, we'd love to have you. Got good educational, good group of people, awesome people to be around from all over the world, all over, from Australia to China to Malaysia. We've got people in the States, we've got people in South America, we've got people in Europe and Eastern and Western Europe. We've got people all over the world. We've got some people in Turkey. And just everywhere. Love to have you guys part of the group. Anyway, all right, good to see y'all. Let me know you got good audio and video. What's up, Frank Scola? What's up, man? Nathan and Eddie, my man. There's a guy right there, Eddie, and then XRP Brandon. Those are two awesome fellas in the Discord. They're amazing people, and thankful for them in the group. Johnny English, hello, sir. Always good to see you here, man. Always. There's Crypto Fitter. Yeah, last Sunday I didn't do Sunday night charts, man. I did a video, and it was the best I could do last week, but because we were traveling. But anyway, yeah, there's Kimosabi. He makes the place a great place as well. Daniel L, what's up, man? Good to see you. I don't know if I said you, Nathan, but what's up, man? Good to see you as well. All right, don't forget, I'm not here to give you financial advice. Just want to take a second, explain to you what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. I'm here to share my ideas from an Elliott Wave perspective. I mean, it's not the only thing we look at. We're going to look at the market holistically. We're going to look at the market, from a wide angle view. But the way I look at it, and I'm going to share my thoughts with you. So it may or may not play the way I'm thinking, but I'm actually going to give you wave setups, wave ideas to be watching out for, so that if you see things setting up a certain way in the market, you'll be ready for those setups, and you can take positions maybe, or learn to trade the way I trade. But listen, guys, you're going to get ideas, and that need to be tempered with good risk management strategies. Okay. If you don't know how to trade with good risk management, none of my ideas should be traded. If you don't understand my trade setup, then you should not trade my ideas. And finally, if you don't know how to trade and you're just looking for somebody to tell you which way the market's going to go, you definitely don't need to be trading at all. You stand to lose all your money. If you can't define your risk management strategy to someone with a definable, enumerated list of rules for yourself that are clear and plain and that actually make sense and that are proven to make money, if you obey those rules, then you should not be trading. You're just gambling otherwise. And if you want to stop gambling and you want to learn how to trade, that's what I had to do, and that's what a lot of people in my Discord have to do. They have to learn to stop gambling and start trading. And so anyway, we're here to help you learn that. Okay, we're not here to tell you where the market's going. I don't know where the market's going, but I know where I think it's going, and I'll tell you why I think it, whether it goes there or not. I'm going to show you where I think it's going, why I think it from an Elliott Wave perspective and from other perspectives, and then we're going to put that together and see if we can formulate some trade ideas from that. So with all that said here, guys, don't be here tonight thinking you're going to get some definitive notion as to what the market's going to do over the next week or next couple of days. You're not. You're going to get ideas that need to be tempered with good skepticism and proper skepticism and good risk management. All right, I preached enough to you, but how many of you needed that sermon? Let me know. Let me know if you needed that sermon. I just brewed some coffee, and I just heard it finish over there. Hold on one second. Shout out to my wife, who it's her birthday yesterday. But we were driving back from Missouri all day yesterday, so we couldn't really celebrate it. It wasn't much of a celebration, but had some friends over tonight and played Ticket to Ride. If you've never played Ticket to Ride, it's a fantastic game. And had some ice cream cake and celebrated my wife's birth on this earth. I'm married to an older woman. I'm dating an older. Married to an older woman. 2 months. Thank you. There she is. Happy birthday. And she's barefoot, but she's not pregnant.
Ever again.
Ever again. All right. What's up, Kane Z? How's it going, buddy? All right, let's see here. All right, guys, let's see what the market's doing. Okay. I've already given you my disclaimer, and not because I'm just trying to give you a disclaimer, but I really don't want you to lose any money. And if you misunderstand what I'm doing here on my channel, you misunderstand what other guys are doing on their channels, if you're a YouTube viewer, you stand to lose a lot of money. Watching and trying to trade other people's ideas, especially if you don't know how to manage your risk. All right. Kimo Sabi said happy birthday. All right. Let's get rocking. Let's zoom out and see where the market is. If you don't know what Elliott wave theory is, guys, it's a theory that some guy named Elliott came up with back in the early 1900s. He looked at the market and said, hey, the market, he saw patterns in the market, said the market moves in fives and threes. Fives and threes. And it certainly does. It does move in fives and threes. And he saw patterns in the market and just in the waves on the chart. Now he didn't have the charts like he had to make his own charts at that time, I suppose. But anyway, when he saw those patterns, he developed his theory called Elliott wave theory. We take what he learned, when he picked up on, we add to it. We modify it as we need to, as we look at the modern markets. But at the end of the day, it's a pretty fantastic idea, and it is reproducible and gives good trade setups. And I'd say our trade setups, they play pretty regularly, especially if you have good risk management. They play fairly regularly. A good. I would say, on a bad estimation, 60% of the time. On a high estimation, 80% of the time, the trade setups play. You just have to manage your risk properly and trade those setups properly. So, yeah. Hey, yeah, Crypto Fitter. If you're a spot trader, even my Discord will help you. Just know key times to buy or when to be selling. Taking profit and looking to get back in. You can trade on small. You can buy and sell on different time frames. So you might consider coming on in, man. Love to have you. You've been around a while too, so love to have you in the Discord. It'd be awesome to get to know you a little bit better. So, all right, guys, let's jump in. I don't know that I need to really understand this whole big wave. Okay, there's a couple of ways to understand this, and guys, I don't know the answer. I'm not, number one. I do not use, pretty much. I don't use log scale. I know a lot of you guys do. It changes the way this wave looks here. I don't use log scale. What I do, however, do is I just look at the general shape, and I do believe Elliott can be used in each individual wave, but I don't know that there's an overarching count where this is like a wave 1 and that's a wave 2, and we just finished wave 3 and this is a wave 4 and now we're going to wave 5. I think some people are looking for a macro count here, And I'm of the opinion that there are no macro counts. I can share why if you want to know why I think that. But you know, at the end of the day, I just noticed that Elliott works on these on each individual wave necessarily, and maybe even on a larger scale than I give it credit for. But I don't know that we need to have an understanding as to whether this is an ABC right there. It could be, or this is a wave 5 of a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 right there. I'm kind of more inclined to that count nowadays, seeing the way this is coming down. I mean, if you want to nail me down to a count system, like, okay, fine, we got a 1, 2, this is 3, there's 4, there's 5. The way this wave is shaping up, it just looks more like a 5-3-5, a zigzag. And you've got boom, 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 and I'm waiting for wave 5 to finish of the C wave. And that's just a simple take on that wave. Now, whether that's wrong or right, yeah, I don't know if it's wrong. I don't know if it's right. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, here's what I do know. Here's what I do know. That there are 5s and 3s within this structure, and I can boil this down right here, this wave right here. I can boil all of my TA down to that wave right there, and say, you know what? I've got a 5-wave move right there. That's 5 waves. It's got a 5-wave character to it, and I don't think it's finished. But that's the question. It's always the question. Once you identify, does this have the character of a 5 or does it have the character of a 3? Okay. If you identify, okay, yeah, it's got the character of a 5, then you say, is the 5 finished? Can I count a finished 5 here? Or does it need another wave? Okay. And my answer to that is, it looks to me, there's 2 answers. Yes, it's finished. Okay, if it's finished, what is that 5-wave count? All right. So if it's finished, you're going to go 1, 2. All right. You're going to call this 3, 4, and 5 if it's finished, if you think it's done. Okay. Now, here's what you need to know. You need to understand that if that's finished, if that's a finished 5, I need to see divergence between wave 3 and wave 5. Okay. Generally speaking, hey, have you guys met my dog? Come here, buddy. Have you guys met my dog? This is my dog. Can y'all see him? This is Spike. Let me see if you guys can see him here. Yeah, I know you're a little nervous. He's brand new to our family. Yeah, y'all can see him pretty good. This is Spike. Say hi. Say hi to the internet, buddy. He's a licker. He wants to lick you to death. I'll tell you what, man. He is a licker. He's like, I gotta lick you. I gotta lick. We're trying to stop him from licking, but yeah. There's Spike, guys. Yeah, he's over here playing with the toys, and you might hear a squeaker. So anyway, yep, there's Spike. All right. Did I name him after the market? No, that's the name that the shelter where we got him from. That's the name they gave him. And we thought it was kind of cool because it really doesn't fit. He's not mean, and and Spike for this big Spike, But he's just this little dude. He loves everybody, Bonjour, monsieur. Joshua Hernandez, what's up, buddy? Doing very well. Good to see you, bud. All right, back to what I was saying. So, I don't know that you need to know what this is, to be honest with you. You can develop a concept for where you think the market's going to go, simply from whether you see 5s and 3s in the current situation or not. We're going to get there in a minute. Hang in there, guys. We've got lots to talk about tonight. Okay, so this first idea, the first thing I just wanted to share with you guys is I don't know that we need, so many people, hey, what's your macro count? What's your macro count? I don't need a macro count personally. I just personally don't have a need for a macro count. All right, so, what is the count then? Well, number one, I don't need it. But what do you do then? Well, what good is Elliott then? Well, I can look at the character of this wave and determine whether that's 5 or 3. And to me, it's got the character of a 5-wave move. So when I say, okay, I've determined it's 5 or 3, and then I ask the question, is it finished? And so I've already shared with you the count that if it's finished, okay, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And so there it is. And so then you have to say, okay, what is the TA then? What is the TA? What is the wave structure that follows this if that's a finished 5-wave move? Well, if that's a finished 5-wave move, what do we expect to see? What do we expect? We expect to see a 3-wave move back to the upside, okay? You get a 5-wave impulse to the downside, we're going to get a 3-wave impulse back to the upside. A correction in 3 waves. 3 waves follow 5-wave moves, generally speaking. Unless this is the end of a correction and we might get a 5-wave move off the bottom. So that's the point. That we could either get a 3-wave move off the bottom, something like that, or we could get a 5-wave move off the bottom that could be larger and whatnot. So the question then becomes, then you just look at the next wave. Is this then 5 or 3? And that matters. The answer to that question matters. I don't necessarily need to know every wave here, but I need to have some definitive understanding as to what the previous wave is so that I can understand what I might expect next, okay? So if I have a finished 5-wave move and this wave is maybe 3 waves, then I can relatively think, okay, I'm looking for an impulse potentially, and if I get an impulse, maybe we have a reversal. Okay, a reversal. If I get a correction, well, then maybe we just get 3 waves and we have more downside to go. Okay, so that's basically the thinking you need to have, pretty much. If you just boil it down to simplicity, and you don't stress about all the details. So if that's 5 waves and if it's finished, then you have to say, okay, what is this wave? To me, when I look at that wave, it is very, 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 very 3-wave-ish. Okay, I've spent many hours on that wave. Okay, and my conclusion, and I hold it. How do I say it? I hold it. I hold it with an open hand. I'm like, yes, here's my conclusion, but I'm not going to hold on to it, and I'm not going to go down swinging on it, and I'm not going to go down. I'm not going to go down like, I'm not going to fight you over it. I'm just going to say, this is my final answer. Wrong or right, this is my final answer. Now, then I'll trade with good risk management accordingly. Now, when I look at this wave, that wave looks like a corrective mess. Okay? Looks like what you might call a bear flag. Okay? Which needs to be followed then by impulse to the downside. That's what I see there. So I don't see, in my opinion then, a finished 5-wave move. That's my take on that. Rather, I see this is highly likely a 4th wave of this whole move here. That's a wave 4, and I'm looking for a wave 5. You say, what kind of wave 4 or 5 are you looking for? I'm looking for something like this wave right here, or this wave right here. Okay, and this might be a little too big. It's probably going to be more like this wave. Okay, where this is going to probably start coming down relatively quickly to the downside. Okay, and it's going to finish that wave out. Now, I may have not drawn it perfectly, but you get the idea. You guys doing okay? Can you hear and see me all right? A Boston Rican Terrier. What is a Boston Rican Terrier? That's hilarious. Hey, Kenny Andre, good to see you. S. Joe Coco. He's not a scamwick. That's funny. Bukudum. Hey man, good to see you. Agreed. There, Kenny Andrew agreed. Okay, back to what I was saying. Just wanted to check in on you guys, make sure I'm not talking you to death. All right, so the way I think about the chart then is that, I'm looking for a 5-wave move back down to the downside. Now, the question is, do we have it? Is it in? I was looking for a lower low, and we haven't made that lower low yet. In fact, we're playing around. And I think a lot of people are calling this a double bottom and that we're getting ready to go up. Hey, listen, we could go up, right? We could. I'm just not seeing it that way because the wave structure that I'm seeing off the bottom, or excuse me, off the top after that corrective wave that I just shared with you about, this bear flag that I was sharing about. I don't call it a bear flag; it's a correction, right? But some of you guys might know it as a bear flag. Is very impulsive, and it's the same kind of impulse you get right here, same kind of impulse you got right here, okay? Where you got the impulse, a little bit of a correction, jog in the road, and then further down. A little bit of an impulse, jog in the road, and then further down, okay? We got the impulse, we got a jog in the road, now we're going to get further down, more than likely, okay? That's the way I'm thinking right now. That's the way I'm looking at this wave. That's what I'm saying, hey, this makes sense to me. This looks good to me. All right, so I'm thinking down. Okay, so Elliott wave perspective, I kind of say that's corrective. I think this is impulse. I think we're coming down. All right, we're going to dive into that wave in a little bit. I'll dive into this correction towards the end here. But let's talk now from a liquidity standpoint, because that's the next point we need to make. That the banks are making money off of you guys, and they need to they take the wave down in the way most that gathers the most and the best liquidity for them. Okay, where are their traders willing to buy and willing to sell? Okay, there are people that have been selling all the way down here, and now we're in this zone where people are thinking, I'm buying down here, I'm buying at this discounted price, because if Bitcoin's going way up here to $100,000, then $20,000 is a cheap price. So there are buyers here, there are, but there are some people who are holding Bitcoin who are free from the top, and they're freaking out, but they're holding on, and they're just not willing to let go of their Bitcoin. They're not willing to sell it, and those are the type of people that are probably going to end up selling at the very bottom, saying, I've just got to get out, I got to get some money back, and then they end up selling at the bottom, and then a year later it's like up here, and you're like, oh crap, right? They'll end up. There are people like that are gonna get killed by this move that we might get. The title says what's coming may surprise you, and it may. That's just a little fodder for the algorithm, hopefully to intrigue you, but also I'm gonna call for potential $3,000 price Bitcoin today. $6,000 is where I've been, but anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 I think is very, very viable. We could even go down to $1,000. I know that's scary. It is a very, very scary prospect, but that may surprise you if it happens. Okay, so hence the title tonight. All right. So yeah, so we have potential here of forget what I was saying. What was I saying? Dang on it. Oh, there are people here buying here, and there are people still holding and looking to sell because they believe price is going to go down here. All right, so there's any number of buyers and sellers in the market at any given time, but right now, the market isn't bloody enough. It needs to get bloodier than it is. And it's not bloody enough yet. It's going to get more bloody, more than likely. Okay, it's going to get very, very bloody in the near future. Okay, but from a liquidity standpoint, most markets will come down to what we call previous support. Okay, well, where's the support? Well, you say, is it the tops of these mountains? No, generally not. That is not the support. The support is right here at these valleys. The valleys are where the support is. So as price was going up, where did price come back to and find support? Okay, it came back to $4,000 here. Right here, found support and bounced. Came back to that, hit that region again, found support. Okay, moved up, maintained support all the way up. So we've got heavy price support right here, historic and heavy price support at anywhere between $4,000 and $6,000. Okay, so that's a key area for me. All right, $12,000, it's okay support, but it's not as key as 4 to 6,000. Okay, so in other words, we have very, very strong historical price support, willing buyers who buy intensely at those prices. Okay, they come in and they spend a lot of money buying. They drive the market up quickly at those prices, and so the real support on this chart is going to be between $4,000 and $6,000. Okay, that to me is where I'm going to be thinking about buying Bitcoin personally, based on my concepts here. Now I trade. I'm a day trader. Okay, so that's where I am. I make money whether the price goes up or whether the price goes down. All right, but on this next dip, I'm going to look to maybe become a little bit of a hodler. Okay, they've already.
He's sleeping with me.
Okay,
tonight.
good night, buddy. Love you.
Good night.
So anyway, that's where real price support is. Okay, that's where liquidity is. That's where you'll get some FOMO sellers down here. And that's where the big boys are buying down here. Okay? That's my belief system. There. If you look at every other S coin out there, every other S coin, price comes back down, all the way back down to the lowest area of support, generally speaking. And that's what Bitcoin has done historically. It will pump and it will dump back down to the lowest area of support. It'll pump, come all the way back down to the lowest area of support. It's pumped now. It's coming all the way back down to the lowest area of support. So, I think $10,000 is very viable, guys, as support. $10,000 to $6,000 is a very, very viable area to pay attention to as price comes down. Now, as I look at the current wave structure being formed, on the chart, I see very, very much, some support for the notion that we're coming down here. Let's now zoom in, and let me just show you what I'm seeing right here on this wave. Okay. Now, let me just remind you guys that as I begin to build this case for, hey, I think price is coming down here, I might be wrong, and I'm personally prepared to be wrong. I know how to trade. Right? And so if you don't know how to be wrong without losing your shirt, you need to learn how to trade. That's what my Discord is for, being in a community of people who are trading together and helping each other think about trading properly with good risk management. That's what a community is for. And you need to be a part of a good trading community that I don't allow a bunch of hype speak. Okay? People share their ideas all the time, but they're not allowed to pump and FOMO. That we have to always be balanced, right? We always have to stay balanced. We've got some real bulls in our group, and we've got some bears in our group, but nobody's bullish without knowing and understanding that there's a bearish scenario, and they're pretty tempered in our group. Okay, me as well. I'm pretty bearish right now, but I've got good friends like Brandon here. He's just always asking me questions to challenge my bearishness, so I don't get too minded on the bearish side. And that's what a good community of traders does for each other. Just helps each other to stay focused on what the real indicators are, what the market is really doing, and you don't need to be alone in this thing. So come on in. It's a great place to be. If it's not for you, let me know. I'll give you your money back if you want. You can come in risk free. I'm not looking to make any money off of you. Only the kind of money where the Bible says a servant is worthy of his hire. I really work hard in the Discord. You get a lot of my time and energy. I really care about you. And so the Bible does teach a servant is worthy of his hire. So the price is the subscription for the Discord is modest. And I've made sure that I've asked key friends of mine who are in the business who think I should be charging more, and I just don't. I think my prices are fair, and I can support my family through trading and through that, and as investments and things of that nature. But I do give this is my full-time job, working and supporting the Discord. So anyway, would love to have you in. Just want to share that and just encourage you guys to be a part of it. Again, not trying to sell you, but I remember being alone as a trader trying to figure this thing out, and it's just no place to be. It really isn't. You need a mentor. I had to become my own mentor, and you can do it, but you end up, you go to the school of hard knocks and you lose a lot of money along the way. We can stop that piece of it. You can come in for 2 or 3 months, learn how to trade, learn how to read Elliott waves, and you don't have to lose a lot of money. You can save your money. In fact, I encourage guys not even to trade when they come in. That's the very first thing you're going to get from me. First off, don't trade. I tell people right on the front, you can lose a lot of money. Just learn for the next couple of months, right? Invest in your education for a little bit. And if you have to trade, take $100, put it in an account, trade $100. Because if you lose it all, what have you lost? You lost $100. If you take your life savings, your $10,000, $20,000, you throw it in a trading account, say, I've got to make this, and if I don't make this, I can't make ends meet or whatever. You're in a bad situation because you're going to stand to lose everything you've got. Some of you already have. So be careful, please, okay? All right, I've been talking a lot. Let me check on you guys. Yeah, let me turn. I'm talking kind of low here, guys. So let me see if I can talk a little louder for you. Sorry if it's not loud enough for you. I'll talk a little louder. I'm just kind of chilling tonight and saving my voice a bit. Let me see if I can turn the gain up a little bit. How's that? Is that better for you? Let me know if the gain. If I just turn the gain up, if that's better for you. That may just be for OBS. So I might just need to pull the mic a little closer to myself and let you hear me like that. Does that work? All right. Anyway, with that said, let's... thanks, Kimo, for sharing those thoughts. I appreciate it, man. All right. Yeah, we're going to get in the short term here. So let's do it. Let's do it. All right, so let's zoom in on this wave and let's just take a peek at it. Okay, let's look in the 4 hour. We'll get a perspective here. You say, okay. Good night. I love you, honey. So we look at this wave. You say, okay, this was a corrective wave. We say, Jim, what's your count for that wave? What's the correction here? There's a number of counts here, but I think basically an ABC might work fine. We got an A wave here. You got a 3-wave pullback B, and maybe some kind of a diagonal C. I don't like the diag here wonderfully. I don't like it a lot because this wave, the 3rd wave, is shortest here. So maybe you might argue that and say the diagonal may not work. You could say it's just some kind of a WXY. At the end of the day, it looks 3-wave-ish. Boom, boom, maybe that, something like that, maybe. Or just ABC, and it's not a diagonal at all. It's just got a really crappy C wave count, where the C wave count goes something like 1, 2 down here. This is 3 to here. That's 4, and that's 5 right there. So, and a really deep 4 of 3. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The other possibilities, that's 3, that's 4, and then this is the 5th wave where you get just an extended 5th. That just makes some crappy shape. So anyway, there's a 3-wave correction. I'm not a big fan of that structure, but there's 3 waves. All right, so what do you got off of that? You got an impulse. It is clear as day, an impulse wave. All right, so let's look at that guy quick. We've got a 1 and a 2 right there. All right, now what? How are we going to count this wave? I'm going to count that as 3, that is 4, and this is 5 right there. There's a 5-wave impulse all day long. Best I can see, that's a 5-wave impulse. All right. By the way, guys, if you, I don't know if I should tell you or not. I am short. By the way, I'm short in another trade. We'll see. We'll see if it comes down or not. I'm gonna have to watch this carefully. It looks 3-wave-ish off the bottom here. I'm looking for another move to the downside. All right, I'm seeing this as a flat right there. Okay, there it is. So there's 5 waves. That's a 3-wave pullback. You notice where did this pullback come back to? Okay, it almost made the golden zone, almost got up to the 618. Didn't quite make the 618. So, there you go. There's a possibility of a three-way pullback. So we're going to count this potentially as a 1, this flat as a wave 2. Okay, now what's happening? Well, we got another impulse wave right here. We got another impulse wave. That's finished. That impulse wave is done. You say, how do you count it, Jim? We get the 1, 2 up here in the wick. Okay, we're going to count 3, 4 right here, and this is wave 5. All right, so there's a 5-wave move. You say, what is all of this trash then, Jim? What is all this trash? Well, all that trash is another corrective wave. It's another correction. Okay, this right here was part of a corrective wave. Okay, this was part of a B wave. Okay, of this A, B, and C. All right, so all of this is part of a correction. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. Okay, there's one way to look at this and say, hey, we've got a 3-way pullback and it's finished, it's done, it's kaput, and it's taken out all the liquidity. I talked about last week how we were looking for the spike to the upside. We got it. Okay, that's a potential. Where we have a W. This is X. That move right down is 3 waves, and this is a Y wave right there. It's a WXY. That acts much like a flat. Okay, it acts like a flat, but it's 3, 3, 3. But it's a WXY that is shaped like a flat. Okay, and that's it. That's a 3-way pullback. And so what that would be then is this is a 1. That's 2. Okay, now here's the very bearish scenario. That this right here is an impulse wave. Again, it's a 1. And this is a 3-wave pullback. It's finished, and that's a wave 2. So we're starting to get a nest, what we call a nest of 1-2s. Okay, what is a nest of 1-2s? You say, Jim, what is a nest of 1-2s? Well, let me show you. In an impulse wave, you got 5 waves, and I'm just going to draw it like this. 1, 2. We're going to draw 3 down like this. 4, 5. Okay, there's an impulse wave right there. Now, as this impulse wave, now that's a finished impulse wave, but as it's developing, what you're going to notice is that the impulse wave, okay, actually, let me do this. Let me do it this way. We got a 2 right here. There we go. This third wave is going to have 5 waves in it. Okay, so you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this third wave right here, this big third wave right there, that's another third wave of a smaller degree. It's going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this third wave right here, okay, is going to have a big one, another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It starts to look kind of triangular as it's being made. It kind of resembles a triangle. And what it's doing, it's just revving up. It's like the market is revving up, staying within this range, getting buyers and sellers, right? Buyers and sellers, right? And then they just sell it off, boom, with one big candle, straight down, really fast, screw a bunch of people out of their liquidity. And that's what 1-2s are, a series of 1-2s. And that's what's happening, what I believe could be happening here. We have a series of 1-2s going on. This is the biggest 1-2. So this is that first 1-2 there. Now we're actually in the third wave, okay? So let me zoom out a little bit and I'll show you. Go to the 12-hour so you can see it. So what you've got here is a 1 and a 2. We're going to make 3, 4, 5. See how this gets us down here to 3,000? Okay, now watch what happens. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's make this a little bit bigger so we can see it. All right, you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See that? So I'm kind of short for this wave right here because I know eventually this thing's just going to drop off the map. It could drop off the map in this wave right here, and you may not get that nice 5-wave move there, right? But we have a nest of 1-2s. Okay, let me show you on the chart where that's happened before. Now that's my view of this wave right now. It may be right, it may be wrong. right? Because I can show you some other viewpoints. But that's my primary viewpoint. That's the way I'm personally looking at this wave, so far. Okay. I'm kind of ignoring you guys in the chat. Hopefully you guys are doing okay. Let's see. Thanks for that, Hugo. Appreciate it, buddy. Let me show you in the market where this happened before. Okay. Right here. See this correction right here? We got a nest of 1-2s right in here. All right, let's look at it. So I'm gonna replay the market just a little bit, right? And let's zoom out to the 4 hours so you can see those 1-2s. So what we had was a finished correction here. This is the 4-hour chart. Okay, we got a 3-wave move there, right? Then what do we get? Well, we got a 1 wave down. 1. See this move right there? That's a flat. It's a wave 2. That looked exactly like what's going on right now, by the way. Okay. Then what do we get? We got another 1 and another flat. Another flat 2. 1, 2. Then we got another 1, 1, 2, and another 1, 2. We had a nest of 1-2s in here, and then boom, look, that's what happened next. That big move is what happened next. Okay? And that was a nest of 1-2, 1-2s, right? That's an Elliott. Okay? Let me show you another place where this happened. Okay? All right, right here. Right there. So the one I just showed you is back here. Now we're going to look at this one right here. So let's let me find it here. Replay. Boom. Let's go to the 90-minute chart. There we go. Where is it? Yeah, right here. Okay, had a 3-wave correction. Corrective. All right. Okay. Then we got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, then boom. Bigger correction. Now you might even say this was a 1, 2. This was a 1, 2. And then you get, so you got a 1, 2, 1, 2 out of that, and then we got a big move to the downside again. So those 1, 2, 1, 2s begin to rev up and create this what looks to be a sideways consolidation, right? It looks to be just sideways chop, and you think it's going to go up, but it just never does, right? It never hits, and if it does go up, it goes up and hits and just rejects, right? So anyway, that's what's happening in my opinion right now in the chart. Okay, and that happens all over the place. It happened right here. Right here. All right. It happened in this area there. It happened, actually not so much right there, but you can see a clear 1, 2 there. It's pretty beautiful. All right, so anyway, yeah, this wave is characteristic. So what's happening right now is characteristic of what has happened. Does that mean it has to continue? Could it not have gone up? Could it go up? Yeah, it could totally go up. Could totally go up. Is what's it gonna do? What's definitely gonna happen? I'm not here to tell you what's definitely gonna happen. I'm just telling you the structures that I'm seeing. And for me, I'm bearish. I'm bearish to that doesn't mean we can't have waves to the upside. We're gonna get those 2 waves, right? We're gonna get those 1, 2s. But for me, this is looking 1. And there's 2, okay? Now, I know eventually, even if we come up and take out this liquidity up here, which is totally possible, and I'm ready for it, we could still come on down here. This could be a 1 and a 2, and then we could come on down. there. Okay. So anyway, that's the way, guys, I'm looking at the market at the moment. All right, that's the way I'm perceiving these waves. It's the way I'm understanding them. Okay. So what's happening? What's happening in here? Well, I think looking at fractal analysis helps a little bit. And if we look at a previous fractal, we can kind of get a sense for what this may be doing here. So let's look at a previous fractal, and I'll show you what I'm looking at here. So this is back in April. Okay, this is back in mid-April and May. All right. So I want to highlight a couple of things, and then you'll see it, hopefully. Hopefully that picture helps you a little bit. All right. So what we have, this over here is current price action. We got a correction, and then we got an impulse followed by a flat to the upside. Very big flat right there, followed by to the upside. Okay, so we had a very large correction back in March, April, and May right here. Okay, took quite a bit of time to play out, but it finally finished, and we got an impulse off the top. What happened after that? We got a three-wave flat. We got the same flat, the same flat. So we got, this was again back in March. We got a move to the downside, okay, and then a flat. All right, there it is, a move to the downside and then a flat. All right, now what? Well, that brings this area right here to be about the same as this area here, okay. So let's compare. What's happening down here and say, okay, is there any? So let's zoom in on what happens after the flat right here at the top of C. Okay, we're going to zoom in here. What happens after C? Well, we got an impulse wave right there. Okay, got an impulse wave. And after the impulse wave, there's the impulse wave there. We got an impulse wave there. So this is what happened before. Okay, this is current price structure here. All right, so we got an impulse wave. Impulse wave. All right. Now this is where it breaks down a little bit, right? Because you might even say that this was the impulse right here, and this was a flat correction right there, which I think is possible. So you could say, okay, we got the impulse wave, and this was the correction right there. That's equivalent to that right there. Then we got a rejection off of that. Rejection off of that. See? All right. Now what? Three-wave pullback, three-wave pullback, and this is the wave I think that we're kind of in, potentially. I get a little bit of a pump here. Let's see what it's doing. Looks like a flat, guys. Looks like a flat. Let me just take a peek at the small time frame here. Just give me a minute, guys. Okay, that's looking okay. Looks good. Three. Okay, it looks good. Seeing this as a potential WXY. Potentially. Or it's going to be 5 waves. It's going to develop into a 5-wave move that's going to come in. And we got a 3 up, 3 down, 5 up. So this could be a flat here. Flat correction. That's another possibility as well. I still see this corrective. All right, let's go back to the fractal. So I think that this current wave right here is reminiscent of this wave right here, okay? And that we're somehow, somewhere here or here. I don't know. It doesn't have to be exactly like this wave. It's just this general idea, right? We could be in this wave right here. We could be beginning that wave there. So in other words, if my fractal analysis is correct, if I've identified the waves that kind of match here, right? We got a three-wave move up. We got a three-wave move up. Now what? Well, we got an impulse to the downside. Now, I'm not sure we're finished the impulse, and that's the thing. I don't think we're finished the impulse. I think we got to come down for another wave. I think we're getting like a fourth wave right here as a flat or something. And then we get a bit more down, finish the impulse. So once the impulse is finished, then we're going to get some kind of a larger three-wave move back to the upside. Okay, so that would look something like something like this. So if this comes down like that, then we get a three-wave move back, and there's another 1-2 for you, right? And then we get the big move that begins the downside. So I don't know if that's exactly right. I don't know if that's going to play exactly like that, but it's an idea. It's an idea. It's a way to look at the market from a wave structure standpoint and using fractal analysis from the way the market has moved in the past. Does it have to move the same way? But it has been. It's been moving the same. It's almost like the same algorithm has been running the same move to the downside. It's the same algorithm running it. Now, it may change at any moment. They may say, okay, it's time for a different algo. They may watch my video and say, oh man, they're onto us and change up things. I don't know. The market often goes where you expect it to go, just not in a way that you expect it. All right. And the market preys on your gambling instincts, your willingness to gamble your life away, right? So anyway, all right, so that's the way I'm kind of looking at that, and that's kind of where I think we are. So this is old price action, this is new price action. Okay, so I think we're somewhere in this vicinity right here, looking to finish this wave, looking for a three-wave move back to the upside. All right, so I would expect another move to the downside, maybe to finish up, maybe to take out this low here, create a lower low there. It could take out this low as well. And then we get a bigger move back up. It takes a little while. It might take several days to play. A move like that. Who knows? It just depends on how they want to come up. All right, and then the big drop comes sometime next middle of next week or the middle of this week or towards the end of next week or something like that. So, all right, there's a fractal analysis for you. Just looking at that. And the Elliott wave. So at the end of the day, I'm looking at this thing as a bunch of 1-2s. Okay, bullishly, I just don't see any bullish structure here, guys. I don't see bullish structure here at all. This doesn't look bullish. This looks corrective. Okay, so it's correcting these. This is clearly, as far as I can see, impulse to the downside, corrective to the upside. Impulse to the downside, corrective to the upside. Impulse to the downside, corrective to the upside. All of the impulses are down. All the corrections are up. Okay, so 5 waves are pointing down, 3 waves are pointing up. So my bias, based on that, guys, is down for now until the wave structure changes. If the wave structure starts changing to the impulses to the upside, then I'll start changing my bias as well, right? We're going to move with the market. But for now, my bias is saying, hey, guys, down is the direction, and I have a hard time going away from that bias. All right, there's 60 of you watching. I lost about 10 or 15 of you, so anyway. Let's see. It's like 85% from the top. Going to be a trader's market for the next little while. Yeah, probably. All right, Peter. Good. I haven't heard from you in a while. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I saw your messages there. Hey, Keith and Adrian GX. Good to see you guys. What about the expanded flat from June low? 25K is A. 25K to 17 is B. Yeah, the only problem I have with anything like that is that this will have to make a 5-wave shape. This is not making a 5-wave, a 3-wave correction. I don't see this as, I'm not seeing this right here. All right. I'm not seeing this. That doesn't make sense to me. All right. Because of the nature of this wave right here. Yeah, I'll get the S&P up shortly. That's I'm also very bearish for a little bit on S&P as well. Anyway, I just don't have a three-wave structure here. Are you going to call this A, B, and C? And if so, then what do we call this? What is this? What's happening here? That looks all too corrective. It looks corrective as crap, right? So, I don't know what to make of it. It's all three-wave-ish, right? So is that some kind of a diagonal, a leading diag? It doesn't look like it's leading, right? So you guys doing a lot of messaging and retracting your messages. Anyway. Well, Chemo, there's not... Invalidations are not that easy. It's not that simple, man. You know that. You know that. Pete, good night, buddy. We'll see you, man. Invalidations, I mean, just because one count gets invalidated doesn't mean the direction is wrong. It just means your count on the small time frame might be wrong, right? I mean, at the end of the day, the simple invalidation is this. If I'm counting this as a 1-2, the invalidation is right here, okay? So if the market retraces and takes that top out, that is not a 1-2 to the downside, okay? This, if it breaks and breaks this plane, my 1-2-1-2 idea is totally invalid. So yeah, that's simple. It's really far away. It's a $4,000 away in price. So that's a good invalidation point for you. Oh, there you go. There it is. But yeah, so for a 1-2-1-2, the invalidation of that concept is that the break of the 2 cannot retrace beyond the origin of wave 1. So that's the rule. That's the Elliott Rule, right? So if that's the case, then I guess I often take it for granted, guys, that y'all know basic Elliott, but maybe you don't. But yeah, that count gets invalid, as the wave hits. Yeah, anti-BK. Yeah, that's something that's there is some weekly bullishness to the chart. However, the problem with weekly bullish divergence is that it takes months to play out, right? It takes months to play out. Let me show you guys the divergence in the weekly, even the 2-week. So yeah, technically speaking, we have what we call hidden bullish divergence here. Okay, this is hidden bull. All right, that's hidden bullish divergence on the weekly chart. All right, now here's the problem. Right, the problem with that is that if this comes down really fast, it can wipe out that divergence with a strong move, to this area. In other words, this divergence that you're seeing, and you might only see this much move in the RSI on the weekly, but the price could come all the way down here to support, okay, and then bounce off of it, right? So yeah, I think the momentum to the downside is getting lower. Why? Because I mean. We're at 20K, guys. We were at 69K, and now we're at 20K. There's only so much. We've retraced 2/3 of the price. We got a third of the price left. Are we going to retrace the whole way, or are we done? And yeah, there's divergence there, but there's just no break of structure. We haven't broken the RSI. The momentum to the downside has not been broken. The weekly momentum to the downside has not been broken. We are holding strong on the weekly chart. the momentum that the RSI is indicating. Better to draw RSI trend lines and measure the momentum like that than trying to draw trend lines on price and looking for price breaks, right? So anyway, the divergence you see, it's there. It's developing, but also what you have to understand too is that that's the only weekly divergence we have right now. So anyway, with that said, what you want to see, guys, is a break of this RSI structure to the upside. You want to see a break of this to the upside. That's what you want to see. When you see that, that means that the trend in the momentum of price has changed. Okay? When you see it breaking out of the structure of this downward movement. Okay? So, for instance, right here. See that move right there? See that break? All right. That means the momentum of this downward movement changed. Now, we got further down, and that's the interesting point. That you got more downside. Okay? But that means that the momentum is shifting. It's changing there for the time, at least. Right? And so any kind of break we get doesn't mean we can't get a lower low in the RSI. It doesn't mean that at all. It simply means that we're getting a shift, and that's good temporarily. That means bullishness temporarily. And so we just keep our minds, stayed on what's happening. Okay. So anyway, the weekly bull is crap. The other thing is, we don't have any divergence here on the for this 5-wave move here. We don't have any divergence between wave 3 and 5. So I would expect to see a move down to support, and then hopefully we get a kind of a V-shaped recovery a little bit, and that'll give us the hopefully some divergence here on the weekly. Okay, something like that. That's what I want to see. That's what I'd really like to see. So, you missed I already talked about real support. Really, real support isn't 10 to 14 even. I mean, that's when it kind of begins maybe, but really the real support is between $3,000 and $6,000. That's the real price support on this chart, between $3,000 and $6,000. Bitcoin is most likely going down there. Now, how it goes down there, it's going to surprise you. It's going to do something that you don't expect. It could go there tomorrow. It could go there next month. We could rally and then drop. It could do any number of things, right? But more than likely, price is going down to $3,000 to $6,000. All right. All right, guys. Let's take a peek at the other markets here. Let's look at DXY. Let's talk about DXY for a minute, and then we'll look at S&P as well, and let's see what's happening. DXY. Now on the DXY, this is the 1 hour chart. It's bullish to me. The 1 hour chart's bullish to me. In other words, like Chemo just said, it looks like it wants to pause here and go take some higher targets. Okay. Looking at this wave, some kind of a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, something like that. Some continuation to the upside. This is probably, guys, just going out to the 2-day chart. Actually, let's go to the 2-week chart here. More than likely, guys, the DXY is going to pump. Okay, very similar to this. Guys, this was the 1970s inflation. If you look historically between the 70s and early 80s, we had major inflation going on. It was a bad time in history. And more than likely, we're getting something very similar. See that wave right there? We might get a pullback here, right? But it's probably going to come up here to resistance, get a pullback, and then come break it, pull back, break it. We may be in for a really rough ride here, guys. Maybe. There is, however, some. We're getting overbought on the dollar, but it doesn't mean it can't stay here for a while. It just needs some corrective thing. So a Bitcoin rally's coming, guys. All right, Bitcoin rally's coming. The question is, are we going to go hit the bottom first, or are we going to rally first? Right. So that's the question mark. Are we going to hit the bottom first, or are we going to rally first? I don't know the answer to that. We just pay attention. I think DXY goes beyond 120 as well. I think you're right, Chemo. I think more than likely DXY is going to come up here and hit 140, 150 again. We're going to come up into this region. How we get up there and when it's going to happen, I can't tell you. Next couple of years, right? In the next decade, we're probably heading that way, right? Because the dollar's going to die. I mean, as the dollar's ready to die. Okay, so they're pumping the dollar. Why are they doing that? So they can get out of their asset, get out of their current market. They can sell off, go into the dollar, and they can put their money into something else. Where do you think they're going to put their money in? What's the next market that is getting ready to pump? It could indeed be crypto. Okay, indeed, it could indeed be crypto. The digital markets, right? So everybody's getting out of the S&P, getting all their money, and they're going to slowly begin buying into crypto. So I think there's more than likely a crypto movement coming, right? I think it's coming. Our world is becoming digital. Central banks and we're going digital. All right. So I don't know what the crypto world's going to look like. I think this is a 1.0. This is 1.0 version. I think we're headed to something very big. I don't know what that very bigness is, right? But nevertheless, I think we are. We're heading for something big. So that dollar has to crank up to the upside so that we can have something strong and stable to have, and then move our money over to something else. And as people start buying up the other asset, that they're going to begin. Sorry, I'm trying to read the chat and talk at the same time. Okay, back to what I was saying. Hey, let's keep the chat chill, okay? Yeah. So is the Bitcoin market? Is that the market that the money is going to be moving? No, maybe not. It could be. It may be some digital currency, CBDCs, where the money is going to go to. So it's going to go away from this paper dollar into CBDC, central bank digital currencies, right? You got the digital yuan, we have the digital dollar being made by our Fed. So I don't know, but anyway, this dollar is going to keep pumping more than likely, so that when it has a chance to die, everybody can get out of it, and it'll die on the chart. It'll start crashing to the downside, and it'll die. I don't know what life is going to be like. I don't know if we're going to have a depression, worse than the Great Depression. I don't know what that's going to be. Just doing our best, position ourselves. You don't want to be in cash when the dollar's dying, right? You want to be in something else that's more tangible. So, So anyway, I think the dollar is going to pump much like it did right over here, okay, in this chart, when the inflation was out of control in the 70s and early 80s. I think we're doing the same thing. It's just going up a different way, but it's going to start gaining some steam. We're going to get pullbacks and continuations, and so we'll just have to time those and learn how to trade those waves, right? Learn how to trade the waves. You guys see my dog back there? He sits on the back of the couch like a cat looking out the window. All right. Now, so DXY, I see it going up. And I don't know where it's going, how it's going. The wave is just intense. It needs a pullback. We're going to get one, and that means when it gets a pullback, we're going to get a pump. We're going to get a pump But who knows when that pullback's going to happen? It could happen next year. That pullback could happen next year. We could pump until then, over the next several months, right? We could pump until then. All right. So let's look at S&P. S&P is doing exactly what I've been looking at. Where's my S&P chart? Is this my Forex? Yeah, it is. Let's see if I have it on my ADA. No, that's an old count. It's an old count. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my chart, but yeah, S&P. I'm bearish for a little while longer. I'm looking at this as an expanding diag, leading diagonal to the downside. Okay, I'm looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we've got a ways to go here. So how are we going to get down? I think Bitcoin's going to follow here. I think all the market's going to start dumping pretty soon here. We've already broken the structure. Chances are we're going to get a little bit of a rally, just a little bit of a rally back to the upside here before a major dump. Okay. Anyway, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a move all the way down, all the way back down here to, let's see what that move is right there. Yeah, the 618 region, 65 region, the golden zone of the previous move, right? So over the next couple of months here, guys. It's going to take a couple months, right? This is the 2-week chart. More than likely, this is going to keep rocking to the downside, but it's going to go slower than you think. It's going to be a sell-off that continues down. Blood in the streets for the next quarter. It's not going to be good. No, we're not going to hit this trend line for a bit. It's going to take years to get back up here. So this sell-off is probably going to create some kind of major problems here. Then I'm looking for a very slow and steady move back to the upside over the next year or two, 23 and 24. Be a dead cat rally, okay? Now that could go faster, it could go slower. I don't know. I'm not here to predict time so much. And then we would see a real painful move back down to the downside after that. Okay, so that's the S&P for you. More than likely, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at this to finish wave 1. We're looking for a 3-wave pullback of some kind. I don't know how long it's going to take. We'll have to watch and see how it develops. And then we're looking for another wave to go down. All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be kind of a dead cat bounce. All right. So yeah, that's that. That's the way I'm looking. Yeah. I mean, this could take. I'm not here to draw the exact time. It's going to make its way down. It's going to take, the rest of the quarter probably. Yeah, that's what I've got drawn here. So, yeah, we're going to come down here somewhere. We should find a rally afterwards. So it looks like we're on a wave 3. I got a 1-2 and a wave 3 here. So this is going to come down pretty hard and steady. So that's why I'm looking short for Bitcoin as well. I think the Bitcoin market's going to sell off as well. It looks like you're going to have Christmas again in 2024. Have a little bit of a rally. Now, who knows if it comes back that high or not, right? The 3 waves to the upside. It may retest the highs, right? But something like that. We got an FOMC tomorrow. I haven't looked at the news. So let's check it out. We got news tomorrow. Yeah, let's see here. We've got we've got ISM manufacturing. Tuesday we got an FOMC speaker meeting. Jolt's job openings. Okay, we got non-farm this week, guys. So we got NFP on Friday. I don't know what NFP is going to bring us. We'll have to see how the week develops. But we may be kind of staying at a range and going sideways up and down between now and Friday, because Friday is going to bring a big volatile move. Surprise meeting? How could it be a surprise meeting if people know about it? Oh, emergency meeting happening on Monday. Really? Where's that in the news? I'd love to see that. Emergency Fed meeting. Can I Google that? Let's check it out. What's happening? Oh no. Interesting. Everybody's got. What's everybody expecting? What's the emergency meeting? What did they say? What it's about? Emergency closed door meeting Monday. Oh, that's 2/14. That's old. That's old. That's February 11th. That's old. There we go. Oh yeah. Hugo, that's a good possibility. Chemo. That's funny. That's kind of like, the old refrigerators used to be called the Frigidaire, but that's a brand, right? That's a brand. But the brand got so popular, they named the whole system of the fridge as the Frigidaire, right? So yeah, like Coke down south. You go down south, you say, "Hey, would you like a Coke?" And you say, "Yeah." And then they ask you, "What kind do you want?" And you say orange or root beer. How many of y'all live somewhere where that's a thing, where they say, "Hey, do you want a Coke?" And then they follow it up with, "Yeah, what kind?" I'd love to hear that. Yeah, Jonathan Gandy, I don't think so, buddy. I don't think it's going to the moon. Oh, you guys, I'll tell you this. You don't know. So number one, I'll just let you know that I believe that all of this is planned out. That there are powers that be that run this world, and they're evil, wicked men. that the Lord in the heavens laughs at their plans. Yet, I believe that very strongly. They run the world system, and they look to take control over those things. Then, with that as my foundational viewpoint of the market that we are in, I trade the market with that understanding that these are evil people. But they use world events that they themselves can orchestrate. Yes, that's right, Sean. That's exactly right. That's exactly what I was referring to. He that sits in the heavens, he laughs. He will have them in derision. I love that. I love that passage. It's one of the best passages. It's one of the best verses of the Bible right there, Psalm 2. Anyway, so with that said, these evil men are running the show, and they do wicked and evil things like things like what happened in New York City in 2001. They do wicked things like go to war with countries because they're selling their oil in something other than U.S. dollars. They invade other countries and set up their own kings and whatnot who will do their bidding for money. Wars is big business for them. And that's historical and factual. Men like the Ford Motor Company, when Ford Motor Company, selling their engines to German Nazis so they could put their engines in their Panzer tanks. Here you have American men and women, men dying, Jews being mass murdered, to such a degree, and these companies are selling their engines to this evil nation or this evil entity, bringing war against the world to dominate. It's crazy. And I can't believe it. The Shell Oil Company selling the gas that was used to gas the Jews. These are wicked people that have been running the world through governments and whatnot, through money. It's bad. It's bad stuff. So these markets that we trade, they're run by these people. And they've always been around, and they always will be around until God puts them under his foot. Anyway, so there's something coming, guys. There's news coming. There's going to be a crashing bank. The markets are going to, something's going to happen that's going to trigger a complete fall off the cliff, right? And they're going to already be in cash or whatever. They're going to be already out of the market at the time. And if you're sitting here, holding, you're going to be freaking out because there's stuff coming that you don't know about, that these men have used these kind. I mean, remember before 9/11? Remember that before that took place? Did you wake up that morning expecting to see what you saw on the screen, and what happened to the world, and what happened after that, and all the things that evil governments began to do, including the U.S. government, began to do in the wake of that event? But you didn't see that coming. You didn't know that event was happening. You didn't know. And you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know what the headline's going to be. You don't know what you're going to see on your YouTube and on your TV screens. You don't know what's coming, but there's something coming, and it's this market is it's going to trigger some big time crap. That's going to take all of your money from you if you're not careful with what you're doing. And so just be ready, guys. Just be awake and ready. I wish there were more than 62 people listening to this. But anyway, share it with. Hey, for the truthful, can you I don't know what contractum trineus means. I know it's Latin more than likely, but I can guess what that's in reference to. But I don't know the scripture offhand. Nehemiah 5:11. It's not resonating right now. Yeah, Seth. Absolutely, wars, rumors of wars. This world is coming. Yeah, I just read your comment about war being a way to extract money from the population. That's probably some truth in that. Probably truth in that. And to depopulate. See, these evil people that run the world, they want to depopulate the world as well. They want to depopulate. I mean, that's their goal. They worship Mother Nature. They're satanic in nature. And, yeah. So anyway, that's kind of, I let you guys in a little bit into my take on things. So I trade with these things in mind. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Anyway, so be careful, guys, out there. I wouldn't put all your hope in Bitcoin. And I wouldn't have the mindset that, I saw somebody post a comment, and I'm not picking on you if you're still here and listening, but, hey, who's buying in after 17? With that kind of question, you're looking to find out who in here is going to affirm your belief system that the market is definitely going up. Have you guys considered the fact that the market may not go up? That the entire Bitcoin market, as you know it, could be a complete fraud, that there's some news event coming out that is just going to completely demolish the entire crypto space. Everything. From Bitcoin to everything. The crypto space is going to die, potentially. Have you considered that that's a possibility? The point is, you don't know what's happening, and you don't know if crypto is gonna win or not. So, do what you have to do to protect your money, to protect your family. We have scary times coming. We do. I don't know what they are. And I don't know what it's going to be. But I don't have an unhealthy fear. But when I say I'm a little afraid of what's coming, I'm just like, I think it's going to be something terrible. And we may be moving to things that like it's never been on this earth. A power grab, wars and rumors of wars to such a degree that it just has never been like this on the earth at all. So pervasive. So anyway. If you're interested in a little bit more about my mindset and the future, Jesus spoke of the future in Matthew 24. Matthew 24. Matthew 24 speaks of what it will be like. You read Jesus' words. Ant BK, I think that's probably the lie they would have you believe. I want you, my prayer for you is that you will be more neutral in your thinking. Jonathan Gandy, here's the thing. I think you should keep enough money, if you're trading, you should keep enough money in your account to allow you to trade with good risk management. But you should be steadily withdrawing your account down to what my suggestion is, that if you try to time it for something, right, you're going to miss. You're not going to be able to get your money out. So if you wait to see some kind of red flag that says, hey, I got to get my money out of the market, you're too late. It's done. What you need to do is have a set amount of money that you need to trade in order to make a living. If you're trying to make a living trading, maybe it's $10,000, maybe it's $5,000, maybe it's $20,000. I don't know, whatever it is. You keep that much money in the account, and that's all you keep. And then as at the end of the week, you withdraw the profits and you withdraw it back down to that amount. You draw it back down to $5,000 and you trade with that $5,000 and you do it again. So if they're going to take your money through the Bitcoin, they're going to take it. The only way to protect yourself is to not be in the market, to not be in. I don't know if it's safer to be in cash or not, to be honest with you, because I mean it's all a power grab. But what if everything? There's the markets are tanking, the Bitcoin's tanking, the dollar's tanking, and the only place, and this is what I think, guys, the only place left to go is the CBDC. That's the only place left to go. Yeah, but Jonathan and Smack, thank you guys. That's just the way that makes sense to me, right? Because I don't own Bitcoin. I don't own any Bitcoin. I don't hold any Bitcoin. It doesn't mean I'm giving financial advice. That doesn't mean Bitcoin's going to die. I don't know what's going to happen. I just think you guys need to be balanced enough to know that Bitcoin could die, that the entire crypto space as you know it could die. There may be some event where, let's just say, some hackers or something just completely screw up the blockchain in such a way that is just completely devastated. Oh, that's fantastic scripture there, buddy. So, I think if you have no money, you just need to know and understand that crypto isn't your savior, and crypto isn't a certainty that we're going to 100K, 200K, and I think everybody thinks that there's just too many moon boys out there, and there are too many guys. And if you're listening to anybody who's just constantly, that's constantly, shilling moon mindsets, then you need to stop listening to them because they're infecting your brain. Okay, you need to find some people who are going to talk real with you, like this channel's, and share it with your friends, guys, if you would. I'm just as real. I'm just a guy. I don't know everything, but I'm here just sharing my thoughts tonight, just having some real conversation with you. But if they want to take your money, they're going to take your money. You don't have anywhere to put it. You can't put it in cash. Can't put it here. Can't put it there. Yeah, I think they're going to drive us to CBDCs. Personally, that's where I think we're going. CBDCs. And I think that the central banks are going to come in and say, hey, we have the solution here, and put all your money here. And you're going to have to. You're going to have to. You're going to have to do it. Now, I don't know what other events are going to happen in line with that. But, and I don't know what's going to happen. But I just urge you tonight, just to be real with yourself and with your friends, and remind them to be sober-minded and just really, really, because we have some scary times coming. Read Matthew 24. The last days, which could be now. We might be in the beginning stages of the last days. I know a lot of people believe the last days are here, a long time. But at the end of the day, there'll be a time coming where you're going to notice that things are not like they've ever. It's worse than it's ever been, and that's what Jesus described in Matthew 24. It's worse than it's ever been. You're going to have to be ready for something other than a financial ruin. There's going to be other stuff going on. That senator is not going to be allowed. If that's not part of the plan of those that are running the governments, then they're going to they're not going to make it. I'm pretty sure this video is going to be demonetized because I'm not talking about things that are popular, and people think I'm wacky probably for believing these things. But just wait and see. Wind Moon, I'm glad you like it. Glad you like it. They'll find a way to take your land too, man. They will. Thanks. Yeah. If you want to be part of the Discord and be part of a community that understands these things, come on in, guys. Come on in. Let me check what Bitcoin's doing here. I'm getting a push down, which is what I want to see. Let's see if it continues. All right, guys. I've really enjoyed chatting with you guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I don't feel like looking at a million charts for you and to be your chart buddy tonight. I've kind of shared my thoughts. At the end of the day, just looking at this weekly chart, we could get a little bit of a move up like this and then down. That's totally possible here. Okay, and if that move is coming, I don't see it coming yet. I see us coming at least breaking the low before we go back up. So let's see if we go down and break the low and then go back up. So watch out for that fake out move there. Okay, before we come down and hit these lows down here. That's probably in the works, something like that. Okay, but I do see us going down deeper before a pullback. Okay, and this pullback, this move back to the upside may take months or a year. The way I've drawn that, it could take a year to go on back up. Okay, so they could take this up very correctively here, retrace back up, and take the next year to do it, or half a year, something like that, right? Before we go down and hit. So who knows what their plan is and how long they plan to do it, when they do it. But just keep that in mind, guys. But right now, the structure on the small time frames, guys, it's kind of pointing to the downside. That doesn't mean we can't get temporary bounces and bounces that take out liquidity. Okay, so that doesn't mean we can't get bounces that take us up here to take out this liquidity up here before we come down. We could totally get that, right? But right now, I want to see this move to the downside. I think that's more plausible with a three-way pullback and then down. So now I've drawn this very short, and this could take an entire week to play out. All of that This may take a week and a half even to play out. So I'm not saying it's going to dump this week, but we do have NFP on Friday. So let's see what happens between now and Friday. Okay, and let's trade safely. All right, let's trade safely. Hope you guys have a fantastic night. I'm going to call that the live. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for coming. Gotcha, Adrian. Gotcha. Yep. That may totally play. So yeah, we got a break to the downside, finishes that wave, and then back up. An all-nighter? No, I don't feel like pulling an all-nighter. We just got back into town yesterday from Missouri. My daughter's in Missouri, but anyway. Yeah, all right, guys. Well, thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the good chat. I've enjoyed it. It's been a nice break and just looking at charts all night, just talking about life and general. Be safe, guys. Go do a little preparation for what may be around the corner. Protect your family a little bit. Be some moderate preppers at least. And get a hunting rifle, have a way to find food for your family if you needed to, if things really got bad. And get some fishing poles. And be safe, guys. Be safe, and do what you can. Keep your money safe, and protect yourself. You're living in a horrible world where evil people run the show. So who knows what they're gonna do? You're not gonna be able to sleep now. I hear you, Kenny. Thanks, Wind Moon. Love you, bro. All right, well, I'll be around the Discord for you to chat there. If you guys want to join me there, come on in. Just join the Patreon. We'd love to have you in there, and we'll have some more time. Yeah, Silvestro, that's exactly right. Let's see what happens with that meeting. So, all right, have a great night, guys. Bye.